Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we take a look over discourse analysis and its link with pragmatics. And we know very well it's impossible to do an analysis without knowing the aspect of pragmatics. We know pragmatic or pragmatics is a core cause in the process of discourse analysis. We can never ever do any analysis if we don't know about pragmatics. It's necessary for us and it's mandatory for us to know about pragmatics. And you know very well the pragmatic is the study of language with respect of society, with respect of context, how we derive the meaning according to or in situation to the context. Discourse analysis in turn is composed of a wide range of subdisciplines such as pragmatics, conversational analysis, speech act theory, and ethnographic of speaking. Pragmatics and discourse analysis move in the same direction if we want to make an analysis. And pragmatics helps us a lot while putting or while doing any type of analysis, either we want to talk about discourse analysis or critical analysis, critical discourse analysis. Different authors define pragmatics in a different way, and we know very well we can never ever have same thoughts by different peoples and so on. In the term of pragmatics, different people define it differently, but the most common aspect and the most cultural aspects of pragmatics is a study of meaning or the study of the context meaning beyond literal meanings. Most probably we can do that. This pragmatics is the core cause of the elements in which or wherever we take the meanings while utilizing the context, not taking the meaning while having a literal type of meaning of that aspect. So the study of meaning with respect to context is considered as pragmatics. In pragmatics, we can never ever judge meaning or by utilizing the literal meaning of that aspects. One verse can be entitled with different types of meaning according to situations and the phenomena of the verse. Most of the time, we just derive the meanings between the text, in between the text, and from lines to lines. Meaning vary over to the situation, over to the context, and meaning also vary different while utilizing the different phenomena of the things. The most prominently we can define the different types of meaning, just like connotative, denotative, pragmatic, and even the semantic and the literal and the historical and the background reference. These are the different aspects of the meaning. Or when we are doing a discourse analysis, it's mandatory for us to put a focus over the pragmatic aspect of that statement that we want to interpret. If we just take that aspect, the just literal meaning of that concept, we can never ever get the basic context of that meaning if we don't utilize the pragmatic aspect in discourse analysis. So it is compulsory, it is mandatory to have a glimpse of the pragmatics and the variants and the part of the pragmatics, or the definitely it should or these parts of pragmatics and these elements and the features of pragmatics help us while doing analysis, while doing discourse analysis. So speech acts, dexes, understatement, implicators, and so on are considered important components of pragmatics. Do you remember in this lecture we will take a look over speech acts theory, what is speech acts, and what is an implicator, and what are the deixis. But these are correlated and coexisted in the field of pragmatics. Or, as I informed you earlier, that if you want to take, or if you want to make an analysis, or especially related to discourse analysis, it is mandatory for you people to overlook and to have a clear-cut image of pragmatics and the elements and the features of pragmatics that may help you while doing your analysis. We have different authors that define the term of pragmatics. Pragmatic is the study of meaning in relation to context in which a person is speaking or writing. It is defined by Partridge in 2006. This includes social, situational, and textual context. It also includes background knowledge, context, that is what people know about each other and about the world. In terms of pragmatics, we try to get the meaning from our surroundings, from the people's variants, and people's background of mind, their minds. Sometimes pragmatics assumes that when people communicate with each other, they normally follow some kind of cooperative principles. Cooperative principles where we have to cooperate while utilizing, while saying our conversation, or while saying or while delivering our communication, that is that we shares our understanding, our phenomena of communications. While talking to each other, we cooperate with one another. The most prominent aspect of pragmatic is the cooperative principle that we will learn about in the upcoming slide. First of all, we move forward. What is the speech act theory? Speech act theory, we had a look over it in the primarily, or in the first tremendously lectures that we have, or that we had in our discourse analysis. The basic belief that language is used to perform actions led John Austin and John Searle to develop a theory of speech act. In the famous lecture How to Do Things with Words, Austin delivered this lecture in 1962, and he clearly state the things that how the language is understood. He dwelled the general or the illocutionary acts that is majorly or generally considered as a part of pragmatic theory. We have different types of speech acts according to Austin's. Austin's divided into three types of speech acts. First of he said that the first one is a locutionary act. The locutionary act is the act that utterance of a sentence which determined or determinate sense and reference. It is a statement, or it is a position where we try to understand the sense and the reference of that statements. If we try to overlook, or if we try to get the sense and the reference of that statement, it means we are performing the act of locutionary. Locutionary mean where we have to look out. After that, the second act that is defined by Austin, that is illocutionary act. Illocutionary act, it is an act in which we make a promise, in which we make a statement, in which we make an offer, or by utilizing the conventional force associated to it. Most of the time when we have to express our offer, or show our offer, and just in order to put a promise, or that we want to express any type of statements, so we are falling in the term in the act of illocutionary. At third level, Austin defined the type of perlocutionary act. It is almost about related to the effect of the audience and how the thing is being understood by the audience, such effects being social to the circumstances of the utterance. Most of the time it is totally dependent on the understanding level of audience, how they interpret and how or the message affect over your audience. According to Srili, we have different five further division and further kinds of action. This means cooperative principles in the speech activity that we have just really define in further five division. The first one representative, and the second one directiveness, and the third one commissive, and the fourth one expressive, and the fifth one declarative. So all the times just try to take a look or try to understand the basic terms. Expressive, where we express our feelings, or declarative, where we state the immediate changes of institutions. Just like as we have a type of sentences, serially define the speech act theory just in the five different expressions. Just try to relate these things with the sentence types, and you can easily assess the things, as easily assess the basic concept of this really concept of speech act theory and the five types of it. Just in implicit meaning, he expressed two different aspects. Just like that wife expressed that when will you be back, and husband say I should be back by 8, and you know what trains are like. In the statement, husband expressed two different aspect of the meanings. Actually, first, the meaning that can be implicit, that he wanted to implicit, that he doesn't want to come back at 8. And the second, he also expressed the possibility and the possibility of the late of the train. That it might be possible that train would be late, and so I will not be capable enough to reach back. I'll not be in a position to back to home at 8. It's mean that writer or the husband wanted to implicit the meaning while utilizing the different word. He can clearly express his intentions, his intonations, or his desiredness, that the one aspect of his meaning that he don't want to that he does not want to back right at 8, or second aspect he expressed that might be possible the train would be late and I'll not be here around 8. So different meanings are being implemented in just one statement. After that the implicit that we learn is the part of cooperative principles that Paul Grice clearly indicate while utilizing the different four concept of maxims: maxim of quality, quantity, relation, and manners. And also these are the part of implicators, where we implicit the meanings. And what are the implicators, and what are the part of implicators, and how many types of implicators, and what are the maxims? First, we will discuss what are the cooperative principles and its maxims. After that, we will take a look over the implicators. What are the implicators? Hope so. Let's move on. On the basic of concepts in Grecian pragmatics is speaker's meaning. Grice makes a distinction between natural meaning, which is freed from human intentional. Natural meaning, where we don't want to interpret, or at that level we don't want to express our inner mentality. And second type of meaning, that is the non-natural meanings. Meanings mean that we which has to do with intentional communication. It is a type of meaning where a speaker clearly implement his intentions. Sometimes, or we in other words, I can express that we have two types. It's the first type of meaning, that is conscious process and subconscious process. Or if we are talking about the conscious process, it's mean we are doing the things intentionally. If we are doing the things unconsciously, it's mean it's a natural process that we occurs, that we express our inner thought while not expressing our intention, that we did it righteous just in order to put our intentions in the meanings. So let's move. What is the theory of implicator? It's the conveyed implicator is a piece of information that is conveyed indirectly by the utterance that we have in our mind. It's neither a part nor a necessary consequence of the utterance. But do remember, implicator is the most prominent aspect of your utterance. Let's see what are. According to types, according to Grice, types of meanings, what is meant can be divided into what is said. Listen carefully. What is meant can be divided into what is said and what is implicated. What is said and what is implicated, which can be further subdivided into conventional and conversational meanings. It's mean when we say we have different aspect of that language. We have different aspect of that statement that we have. Just like I express things, it's mean I express two different things. One that is said, and second one that I implemented. In this process, these two types is or are divided in further division, just like conventional and conversationals. We have to clearly understand what is a conventional implicator and what is a conversational implicator. Hope so we will take a look in detail in the next lecture over that. First of all, move toward what is an implicator. Implicator, as recently I put a statement that implicit meaning, implicator, I should be backed by it. But you know what trains are like. In implicit meanings, we have two phenomena. First, I want to be backed by it, as I informed you earlier. The first prominent aspect. And the second one, the trains are unreliable. It could be happen either or not. I can never ever clearly say you that I'll be here right at 8, because the two different notions. The first notion is the train is not reliable. Might be possible train would be late, and so if a train would be late, how can I come here at the right time? The second thing is husband doesn't want to be back. Hope so you are getting my point. After that, in implicator, we have four maxims, cooperative principles maxims. The first one and the second one and the third one and the fourth one. The first one is quantity. Quantity mean the conversational quantity. Make your contribution as informative as is required. Quantity mean the real concept of quantity. It's mean the quantity, the limit of your saying, the limits of your occurrence. It is necessary just to say the things that are required. No need to put further or extra information in your statement. If you do such type of things, it will manipulate, it will disturb, or it will distract the meaning of your saying by your audience or by your listeners. Example, I have pragmatics class once a week on Wednesday from 8 to 9:40 in FCAP or Ansri Bukit. Don't make your contribution more informative than is required. I don't eat pork. I don't make your contribution more informative than is required. It's mean just put the information that is required. No need to go beyond the limits. Go beyond the limitations of the statement that is being required. Just put the information, just say the information. It's mean you have to be concise. You have to be brief, and you have to be clear to your points that you want to express. At second level, second maxim of implicator or conversational maxims, we have quality. First one, quantity, make your conversation as it is required. Or quality, just you have to say the things as they are. True to word. Try to express the things that is being true, or that is being as you want to express. Try to make your contribution one that is true. Just don't say or don't put false or fake statements that may harm your conversation or that may leads you in a wrong directions. After that, we have the third maxim of principles, and that is relation. Relation, be relevant. Be relevant. Don't forget to study tonight. Tomorrow is your final exam. In this statement, you didn't express the ambiguity. You didn't express the vagueness. It's mean you have to be relevant, avoid ambiguous expression, or avoid vague expressions in your statements. Just express the things that they look be relevant to your statement. No need to put the irrelevant statement into your statements. Or manners mean be systematic, be in your ways. I did three main activities in pragmatic class, namely that is reading, presenting, and discussing. Just be systematic. Three activities, which one, and they're informed. Try to be relevant over the aspects. These are the four maxims. After this part, the further deviance of this lecture, or further part of this lecture, will be discussed in a separately manners. Hope so you will get the point. If you have any question, you can make. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.